Hello, everyone. Great to be here. My name is Rob Pluta. I am the CTO, VP New Products at Ryder, and I'm joined by Stephanie Volker from Geotab. She's the VP of Customer Care. And today we're going to spend a little bit of time discussing connected vehicles, connected fleet offerings, industry insights, and what we're all doing to help our customers to deliver value, leveraging all the technology out there. Stephanie, great to have you join us today. Spend a few minutes maybe introducing yourself and Geotab and your role within the organization.
Thanks, Rob. Stephanie Volker. I've been with Geotab for about 15 years, working with fleets large and small to help them understand how technology can solve problems. Over the 15 years that I've been with Geotab, the technology has definitely evolved. We've seen a lot of advancements and a lot of changes come around. So this is an exciting chat to have with you today. I wanted to say really quickly that I think that it's really interesting the way that Ryder combines truck and technology for your customers. I think that's a unique proposition in a way that you can help the customers in different and meaningful ways.
Yeah, I think that's exciting for us. It's exciting that we're not just a vehicle provider, where we're a holistic solution provider for our customers. Anything from logistics, obviously, vehicles and maintenance and technology. Really excited to have relationships with companies like yours to be able to provide industry-leading solutions to our customers. So really exciting. Again, Rob Pluta, my role at Ryder is driving a lot of the new technology and advancements, which is relevant to what we're talking about here. I've only been with the company for about a year and a half, so fairly new, learning a lot in this industry. Exciting times to be here. A lot of my accountability is driving digitization and delivering solutions for our customers, and how do we better enhance what we offer to them through connectivity. We're looking at electrification. We're looking at autonomous vehicles. We're looking at data insights, and what can we do to help ourselves, and what can we do to help our customers throughout that journey. So really exciting times, and exciting to talk through these topics with you. So let's jump right in. We got a lot of good discussions ahead of us. Want to start maybe with our customers. I know we mentioned customer value and some of the challenges maybe that our customers are facing today. A lot of advancements in the connected vehicle space, a lot of new technologies, a lot of players, OEM advancements, TSPs, a lot of device manufacturers, a lot of technology advancements out there. But that introduces challenges to our customers with a very fragmented, in some cases, landscape. What are you seeing there from a fragmentation perspective, and how are customers dealing with it?
We're seeing a lot of customers have concerns about the fact that there are multiple systems to get the holistic picture of what's happening in a vehicle, right? And so what Geotab is trying to do is open up our solution as a platform to bring all of that data together. Right? I want to see trucks, and I want to see trailers, and I want to see tire pressure, and I want to see temperature of my cargo loaded or unloaded. Like, you want a lot of different information, but you don't want to go to different systems to see that, right? So Geotab tries to bring that all together and give it to the fleets in one pane of glass, so that you can get that cross-fleet picture of how everything is doing, and not, like you said, fragment and look in all these little spots to get you need that one big picture of everything.
Yeah, I think that's going to be critical for our customers, and helping them to let them focus on what they need to focus on and simplify this for them, leveraging platforms like yours. And we're definitely seeing that out there in some of the complexity and some of the pain points of the customers. There's so much data, there's so much access to information and data that they have through all of these different channels. What have you seen from customers being able to take that data and actually transfer it over to insights, and maybe get into as far as maybe predictive analysis and getting ahead of certain things happening? How are customers doing that today?
So I think that fleets need to have a data strategy, right? Even a smaller fleet that standalone with 10 or 20 vehicles, for example, they need to understand what data can do for them, and be able to, start to use the tools to sift through that data and find the value. We have an example where we did electrical system ratings, where we took all of the vehicle breakdowns from a particular fleet over a long period of time and tried to isolate what was happening in the vehicles before they had an electrical system failure, right? How do you identify through machine learning that something's happening in the vehicle? And then, like you said, how do we get predictive about that so that we can go and prevent that vehicle from taking a route that day, run an electrical system PM, and see what's going on? Batteries, alternators, starters, all of those types of things can contribute to roadside breakdowns. But if I can prevent that from happening, that's a significant savings for a fleet. So you take the data that we collect from the vehicle to determine through machine learning what's happening and then get to that predictive state. That's just one example of how fleets are using the data today.
Yeah, I think that's excellent because it sounds like it's helping customers take the actual data and turn it into actions.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you guys are helping them to do that. And that's a lot of the focus, honestly, Ryder has as well in terms of delivering that those insights and that value to our customers. And how do we aggregate all of that information? Some of our customers have really vast fleets of vehicles, really mixed assets out there, and how do we bring all of that together and really surface the important things to them and surface the actions that they really need to act on and the information that's important. So it's really interesting. Yeah, and as far as data and access within Ryder, a lot of the information we're looking at is location. Obviously, is important. Obviously, you mentioned insights and faults or issues happening within vehicles. I think that's important for us as we provide and help our customers maintain their vehicles. That information is critical for us and how we can get ahead of some of the things that we know are happening or about to happen, and how do we ensure vehicle uptime for our customers, which is critical, right? It's critical in their business. So leveraging some of that data and information for us is really, really important.
Yep, it sure is. And I think that fleets are looking to do more with less in 2023 especially. So we're trying to find ways to get those insights and those actions surfaced so that you're not sifting through trying to find all those little nuggets of value. We try to serve them up to you in our analytics insights and things like that to help make it easier to drive the value out of the system.
Yeah, that's great. So tying it to this event specifically and the whole supply chain, being able to harness all that data and creating those actionable operations has massive impacts on the entire supply chain. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about those impacts, opportunities. What have you seen there across the whole supply chain?
We're trying to create a holistic view of what's happening within the supply chain, right? I think that 2021 and 2022 have challenged the supply chains, and we've had to get creative to identify how to be more efficient and how to get things done with the ever-changing environment that we have. But being able to track the inventory from dock, truck, and back into the store, you get that holistic view of how things are going. And I think that we're going to see more of that kind of tracking, not just at the truck level, but at the inventory level as we go forward. And we're going to get more of that just-in-time inventory because we're being forced into it by the current environment that we're in, the supply chain constraints and concerns that are out there. We're building smarter solutions, I guess, is the answer.
Yeah, that's great. Some of the opportunities we see here at Ryder also is leveraging that data and making sure that we have visibility into that life cycle of the vehicle and really being able to identify not only those issues as mentioned earlier before they're happening, but things like rentals and things like replacements, subs for those vehicles, just to make sure that we're able to leverage the information and know more about what the customer is doing, where the shipment is going, and be able to supplement and inject the right vehicles or opportunities as needed to continue optimizing their supply chain efforts. So, yeah, over the last, I'd say, let's look back at the last year. What have you seen from wins, successes, maybe best practices that you could share from other customers that others can take back to their own organizations?
I think we're seeing a lot of organizations trying to maximize the assets that they have. we're talking about some of the supply chain constraints. I don't think that vehicle replacements are as readily available as previous years. And so I think for those reasons, fleets are turning to Ryder to rent, augment their existing fleets, especially like the holiday season and peak shipping times. You just can't count on being able to acquire a new vehicle. So we're doing more with trying to optimize the assets that we have, running more than one shift a day. We have some operations that are, 3 shifts a day. That truck never stops running, right? And that presents its own challenges for maintenance and uptime and things like that. But I think that, again, these times are teaching us lessons to be more optimized, to be more efficient, to get more out of the assets that we have.
Yeah, that's great. I think to add to that, some of the maybe wins or efficiencies that we've seen also is around driving efficiency, maybe in automation with our customers, leveraging the information and the data from the vehicles, and being able to streamline, inspection processes, and really having a single place where you're doing something and all of that data communicates with all the right systems as necessary, whether it's odometer information, whether it's billing, whether it's IFTA, whether it's any of those other dependencies that our fleet operators have to deal with. It's really taking advantage of that data and make sure it ends up in the right place and having all of those integrations built out. And I think we've seen a lot of successes where people are doing that well and they're driving efficiencies within their organization that way.
Yeah, I like to think of it as you want to drive the vehicle. All that other stuff has to be done to do it within compliance, but you want to streamline it such that the driver's limited level of effort so that they can focus on driving the vehicle and delivering the goods. Simple as that.
That's exactly right. So talked a little bit about the fragmentation and the landscape. A lot of technologies entering the space. Is there anything specific that you're excited about that you've seen that really is up and coming?
I don't know. It's not necessarily new, but I think there's a lot of interest in tires right now. There's just a plethora of solutions that are available. I've seen tracks that you drive over that'll give you tread depth, tire rotation to calculate tread depth as the tread changes. And there's all kinds of technology that's being experimented with right now. And I think this is really interesting because the one thing that's constant, whether you're driving an EV or an ICE vehicle, the tires. Everybody has tires, right? You got to have rubber on the road. And so however we can keep that tire properly inflated, keep the tire, from having a blowout and such, keeps the wheels rolling, right? It's all about the efficiencies, whether you're trying to improve MPG or range on an electric vehicle. Properly inflated, properly spec'd tires are critically important. And so I think you're going to see a lot more technology around that space. A lot of cool stuff going on right now.
Yeah, I think, specifically to the tire pressure topic, there's opportunities around analyzing and getting insights from what's happened based on fuel mileage impact, maybe how the vehicle is being utilized, but also real-time actionable insights that a driver can get. How do we get ahead of it and prevent something happening if we see an issue happening with one of the tires, getting ahead of it and really providing some of those actionable insights back to the drivers in real time. I think that's a key opportunity there.
Absolutely. One of my coworkers calls drivers an unreliable witness, right? Because we know that drivers will drive with a check engine light on. Yeah. So we need to have a tire solution that not only alerts the driver in cab that there's something going on with the tire, but also alerts, the supervisors that when that truck comes back, we definitely need to take a look at things as well. It's a kind of a twofold approach.
Yeah. So you mentioned EV a few minutes ago. Let's talk a little bit about sustainability. With everything our fleets are managing and, complexity and landscape and operations, a lot of companies have sustainability and environmental goals as well. So what are you seeing there in terms of companies driving those goals, and how is vehicle connectivity and data and insights playing a role in that?
I think that EVs present new challenges. I don't think we know everything that we need to know about electric vehicles yet. Obviously, the whole concept of not being able to go and dump gas in it, you have to wait for a vehicle to charge up, changes how we operate our fleet, right? We have to be more prepared earlier to make sure that everything is properly charged, everything is done right. And then, just speaking to the chargers, if you want to electrify a fleet, let's say a 25 unit sales fleet, just to put chargers in the lot to run 25 chargers, you're going to need to work with your electric utility in advance to make sure that you can source the energy that you're going to need to sustain those vehicles. And these things take, sometimes years of planning to get ready for. We think, oh, we can just go buy an EV, but it's going to change our operations pretty significantly. And we need to make sure that we've got the right chargers, we've got the right access, we've got the right space, all of those things. So it's going to present new challenges. I think it's exciting, but it's definitely going to be different.
Yeah, and I think, when I look at the evolution that we see a lot of our customers starting to go through is we're looking to leverage the insights from the vehicles and the utilization of those vehicles today to help plan what the right transition is. Where are the best opportunities for a shift to EV based on range, location, utilization, charging infrastructure availability, and some of those components. And again, data's powerful. Data is key to be able to make those conscious decisions. And then as you roll out and execute on your plan, once you actually have those vehicles in the fleet, what we're also seeing is that the technology advancements in some of these new modern vehicles are great. There's so much more insight coming from them: battery health, utilization, charging infrastructure, data insights coming in and helping you to plan your operations that much better. So there's tremendous opportunities there, I think, to not only help plan, but also execute against it once you have those vehicles in your fleet.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting evolution. Exciting times for all of us.
All right, so to tie it up, looking ahead now, looking at 2023, what are you laser focused on? What do you see on the horizon? What do you see coming that you're focusing on in the upcoming year?
I think the EVs is going to be a big thing. I see more and more fleets, maybe not going full scale electric, but augmenting their fleet with electric vehicles where it makes sense. We're seeing a lot of electric in the sales and corporate fleets. It makes a lot of sense there, but then that brings the challenges of things like, how do you charge it at home, right? You got to go to the office to charge every day. I think that the challenges are going to be interesting, but they're not insurmountable. I think one of the biggest constraints we're going to have is going to be just availability of the electric vehicles. I don't think they're going to get caught up with the demand in 2023. I think we're looking a little bit further out before we see readily available electric vehicles. You can want them, but you might not be able to get them in 2023.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's honestly a lot of our focus as well, and trying to understand the sense of reality of what's really coming when, where does it fit into the specific use case of our customers. And we're seeing a lot more of the near opportunity around the lighter duty vehicles, which again has less of the infrastructure implications. Manufacturers, there's some availability coming in some of the light duty ones coming up in 2023. So we're working with our customers to plan that out, and it's also a good opportunity to try in a smaller scale before you get to the Class 8s further out. But for the smaller vehicles, I think right now with range and payload and cost, it seems to be a little bit more in line. So we're very excited about some of those opportunities. But again, leveraging all of the information and insights from current operations to help have those discussions with our customers and help them plan out the right shift, I think is critical.
And all of that takes data, right? All of that planning that you're talking about requires data. And so, I think that the Geotab solution is well placed to be able to collect that data and help you analyze which one of those routes could you electrify, because you're going to start with one or two. Start with a small and then scale up as time goes by, and we learn more, frankly.
Yeah, and we appreciate the relationship. We appreciate the access to that information. We definitely leverage your assets to help us in some of that insights as we work with our customers. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I think 2023 is going to be an exciting year. Stephanie, I enjoyed talking to you. Great insights. Thank you for joining us this morning, and looking forward to next year.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, Rob.